Today, we're very excited to have Stacey Macaluso with us. I've gotten to meet her in person, and she is wonderful. She's been working with the Parkinson's community for over 10 years. She led the Parkinson's Connection at the CATS JCC in Cherry Hill, New Jersey from 2017 to 2022. She started and developed the program to be one of the largest programs on the East Coast for people with Parkinson's disease. As coordinator and coach, Stacey received many awards for her work. She was recognized as SJ Magazine Women of Excellence in 2020, being named Game Changer in South Jersey for bringing wellness programming to the local area for the Parkinson's community. In 2020, she was a nominee for the Rocksteady Boxing Coach of the Year Award. She was also awarded the CATS JCC People's Choice Award in 2021, honoring her for her contribution and work with the Parkinson's community. Stacey accepted a position as a Davis Finney Foundation ambassador, providing support and resources to the Parkinson's disease community throughout the tri-state area and beyond. She has since founded Mission PD, where she is a life coach and fitness specialist virtually for people all over the world. She's teaching Rocksteady Boxing, pedaling for Parkinson's, power moves, and dance for PD. She has also practiced as a dental hygienist for 3 decades in the South Jersey community. Stacey lives in New Jersey with her husband Michael of 30 plus years, where they raise their children Adrian, Michael, and Abigail. Thanks so much for being here today, Stacey.
Thank you. I love being here with you guys. It's always great to come to any of the presentations that you're doing live. It's always really great to work with you. So, hi, everybody. How's everybody feeling today?
Energized because we're with you.
Good, I hope so. Lots of smiles and blessings that we're here together. So I'm so excited to be able to talk about this. When we're diagnosed with Parkinson's, we are, the first thing we think of is, oh no, what are we going to do? And then we're told that we have to exercise and have a good day, and that's it. And could it be that easy? Exercise is the first medicine choice that we are given to manage our symptoms. A lot of people tend to feel that when they exercise, their symptoms get better and they feel better. And it's difficult to get to that point because before you exercise, you might not feel so good. So the exercise is like our first line of defense. And it's somewhat of a daunting feeling because a lot of people may not have exercised before, or they don't know what they should do. So the question is, what do I do? How do I make that part of my life, especially if it hasn't been a part of my life, or I don't have a frame of reference for it? It's not something I like doing. It's not something I've done before, and it's not something, frankly, I want to do. So how do we incorporate it? How do we make it so that it's fun? How do we know exactly what we need, each person? And I'm going to put the gallery back on because I like to see all your faces instead of looking at mine. And that's one of the biggest questions is, how do I make exercise a part of my daily routine or part of my life? How often do I have to do it? And I don't want to do it. I don't like it. So, oops, how do I make it fun? I'm going to kill myself here in front of you guys. First of all, the thing that we want to do is remember how important it is and how much better that we will manage our Parkinson's with exercise. Dr. Martello did a program for me the other night. I think it was last week on Wednesday. And he said that he can tell when his patients walk in the office, who's exercising and who isn't. It's that obvious. And so not that that's a way for, the doctor to, oh, you're not exercising, but they can see and they can tell which one of their patients are, putting in the effort to really keep Parkinson's at a distance and the symptoms at bay. So keep in mind, it's just a little bit that can go a long mile, all right? If you have any questions at any time, unmute, raise your hand, stop me. Most of the time, if you have a question, you need to ask it right away or we'll forget or we'll get involved in something else and then we may not talk about it again. So feel free. This is very interactive. I don't want to feel like I'm at a podium with a microphone. So I'd love if we were all sitting here together and feeling each other's energy. So I hope that you can kind of get that from me and know that I'm extremely approachable and here to help. All right. So this is my little cheat sheet. We all know that medications and treatments and surgeries alone are not going to fight back against the progression of Parkinson's. While we wish that it was that easy, it's not. Exercise is the only known medicine to actually slow the progression of Parkinson's. Not any medication that you take, nor DBS, or any other form of treatment can slow the progression as much as they feel that research has shown that exercise does. I was watching a great webinar the other night, Dr. Laura Mishley, and I don't know if it was a PMD Alliance webinar. I have to look at that. But she said that what we're missing is we're not really figuring out where this is all coming from. Like, we know that exercise helps, right? We know that we have to exercise, but we want to really figure out where it's coming from. Why are people that have Parkinson's that are exercising, why are they doing better than the people that aren't? What are the people that are doing well with Parkinson's for 10 plus years doing that those people that aren't doing well aren't doing? So she studies people just like I study people. I study how people move so that I can help you to move better. Some people freeze, some people are stiff, some people are tired, some people have dystonia. Everybody has a different symptom that they're struggling with as their main complaint. So it's not a one size fits all, right? So we have to find the specific personalized exercise, the personalized needs that you have. So as I go back to my cheat sheet, I'll just go through a couple of things, but then we'll try to get into more of a conversation. The benefits of exercise are supported by research, and in my experience, I see it every day. I can tell you that from the bottom of my heart that 99, almost 100% of my clients that I work with have slow progression and improve at times with their physical ability. We talk about movement and how we move and why we move, and not just move, right? Because all of us know, if anybody out there freeze or festinate or have any like stickiness with their feet, if I just say to you, move, you have to move, does that work? It doesn't work. We're frozen. We're stuck. Our body is triggering and causing an inability to move. The way to release that is to relax and pause. Breathe. Smell the flowers. Take a moment to count your blessings. Reset your brain, reset your energy, and then take a breath and try to go again. So a lot of these things that I work on with clients, like Peggy, we did this morning in class, is to repetitively remind you of the things that you can do to be more successful at moving. Whatever the issue is, whether it be stiffness, freezing, festination, right? Because everybody has something different going on. Maybe somebody has a shoulder issue, somebody has knee replacement, hip replacement, right? It's not the one size fits all. But we have certain symptoms that we can practice certain moves that we can attack so that we can improve that movement, hopefully not experience it as much. So going into what types of exercise should we do? There's a great time for a movement break. Why don't we do that? Let's do it seated so we don't have to get up. All right. All right. Movement break. So what kind of exercise should we do? Let's take our hands and place them on our knees. First things I want to ask you is, what kind of chair are you sitting in? Are you sitting in a chair that you fell into and you became part of the chair? Or does it have form to it? Is it sturdy? My chair happens to have a little bit of a rock in it. The bottom of it has these things on it. So it's, oh, that's why it's turned upside down. It's not completely level. So assess the chair you're in. First things first. Where are we sitting? Do I need to reposition myself? Do I need to come closer to the edge of my seat? Is the chair very deep? I sat in a chair yesterday. The chair was so deep that my feet didn't touch the floor, right? These are things I want you to be aware of. If your feet aren't touching the floor, come to the front of your seat until your feet are touching the floor. Feel the bottom edge of your chair. Lift your shoulders back. Create space between your chin and your throat. Your chin and your chest, I'm sorry, so that your throat is open. This is our breathing tunnel. If this is like this, it's very difficult to breathe, talk, or really do anything. Right? So we want to keep this airway open. We want to be able to take nice big breaths. Let's start with our movement. Hands to the knees. Rocking forward and back. Now I want you to pay attention. When you started rocking forward and back, did you drop your chin to your chest? Did you compress your throat? See if you can maintain that open throat with this movement. Good. Now let's rock side to side, left and right. Did you drop your chin? Did you change your throat? Can you put a smile on your face? Yeah, there you go. Come back to the center. Reach the arms out. Big stretch towards me. Come on, reach for me, reach for me, reach for me, and pull me in. Do it again. Reach out, big stretch towards me, and pull it in. Good, let's do it again. And I want you to pretend that you're in a boat and you're rowing the boat. And it's so beautiful out. The weather's gorgeous, the sun's shining, the air is breezy, and we have these big arm motions as we travel through this water. Good, let's do one more. And bring them down. Good, let your arms just kind of hang down by the side. And lift your shoulders and shrug up and down a little bit. Good. Now can you shrug and hold it? And let it go. Do it again. Now, don't bury your chin in here. See what happens when I do that? I talk like Sylvester. All right. I do have like some periods of moments where I might try to be funny. So laugh just to make me feel good, okay? Right, ready? Here we go. Shrug the shoulders. Keep your chin and throat open. And then let it go. Give me shoulder rolls back. Right and left. Right and left. Right and left. Right and left. That's it. Good. I see those of you with your screens on. You're doing a great job. 3 and 2 and last one. Good. Interlace your fingers. And for those of you that didn't put your screen on, don't be shy. If you want to put your screen on, I'd be happy to have you here. Ready? Here we go. Fingertips interlaced. Thumbs drop. Push the arms forward. Big stretch. Now feel how your back is stretching and your spine is rounded and your muscles are moving away from your spine. Pull your arms back in. Good. Bring them right up to your throat like a bow tie. And push them out again and round. Big stretch. Bring them in like a bow tie. Good. Extend them out to the side as long as you can reach them. And let's touch the bottom of the left side of your chair. Reach up and over to the right, or to the left, sorry. And return. Touch the bottom of your chair. This is your foundation. Reach up, big stretch over to the right. And come back. Good. Now just tap the toes, lift the toes. So what kind of exercise should we do? Well, something that makes you have fun. Because if it's not fun, you're not going to want to do it. Somebody that's fun, like someone that you enjoy being with, a friend or a coach. Now lift your heels up and down. So a lot of times I hear people say, well, the doctor told me I have to do rock steady boxing because that's the best. Lift your toes, then lift your heels. Well, I love rock steady boxing, but I don't necessarily think it's the best if it's not the best for you, or if you don't like boxing, or if you have a bad shoulder, or you can't punch. And feet flat. All right, I'm going to teach you something that's real important. Toes out. See if you can do this for me. This is the easy part, right? Do any of us notice that we walk with our toes pointed to the side? Our muscles are getting weak. Now, I want you to bring this toe of the left foot in. Can you pigeon toe it? Does that seem a little harder for anyone? So these are the inner thigh muscles that now need to work, which often become weak, and they tend to let our knee and our toe fall out to the side. And then we start walking like this with toes out because our muscles are weakening. So it's really about muscle work, right? Let's do this side. Right toe out and in. So how do I pick an exercise program that I like? Well, first thing I would do is look for a Parkinson's organization in your local area. That usually gives you a good resource of all the programs that there are close to you. Let's take the toe in now on this right side. Let's see if you can do that.
Stacey, can you
Make,
scooch back a little bit so we can see
yep,
your feet? Just a little bit. There you
you
go.
might notice
Perfect.
that one side works better than the other. Is that better?
That's perfect. Thank you.
So if one side feels stronger than the other side, that's just an awareness to you to say, wow, I didn't realize how hard this movement would be for me. My hip muscles must be tight on the outside and weak on the inside, right? So this is a way that we could stretch this here, tighten here. It'll draw our feet to walk back in parallel more, right? So just little things that I pick up when I'm working with people. Going back here because I will get off track. If you've never exercised before, I want you to go slowly into an exercise program. Make sure that the coach that you're working with or the trainer that you're working with knows that you've never been an exercise person before. And this way you can be introduced to things slowly so that you're not intimidated or feel fearful about exercising, because there can be that fear factor. I understand that. If it's a new activity that you're trying, again, I suggest you go slow. Make sure that you find the beginner classes. Don't jump into an advanced or an intermediate class where people have been doing it for a long time. You may find that some of your rock steady boxing classes kind of just float you in with people who've been there for a while. Don't worry about it. You're going to be fine in there. There are a lot of people that are going to take care of you in your programs like that. But when you're working with a personal trainer, which I really recommend, and I really recommend strength training, you're going to be able to personalize what your needs are. You're going to be able to really fine tune them to be individualized to you. And you're going to have that one-on-one attention that may give you a little bit more information, a little bit more knowledge, that when you go into your group settings and you have less eyes on you because there's more people around, you're going to have a little bit better of an idea on how to be safe and take care of yourself in an exercise environment. So before we keep going, does anybody have questions so far? Thank you for telling me to move back. Okay.
Don't see any in the chat. If you do either want to ask a question or if you're uncomfortable to ask a question, you can either send it to myself or Amanda and we will ask it for you.
Absolutely. Flexibility. Everybody knows that we need to work on being more flexible and balanced. But balance doesn't only come from flexibility. It also comes from strength. We can't balance in our body without muscles, because our muscles are the part of our body that helps the bones to stabilize. And the muscles help the tendons and ligaments and bones move. So without muscles, when we start to atrophy or get weak muscles in our legs, or anybody get weak muscles in their glutes and now kind of lost the back of their tush and feel like they have like no tush, that is an indication that you've lost muscle. And a lot of times when that happens, we start having small steps or walking from our pelvis first, using the muscles in the front part of our pelvis to pull our leg forward. So that's why we work on sit and stand so much, and squats, and building our glute muscles so that we have the ability to push forward, right? So when we understand how the body works and functions and why we move and how we move, we can understand better what we need. So without muscle development or strength work, it's very hard to get force, speed, movement, and balance. So when we talk about building a program for people with Parkinson's, we want it to be balanced in all these areas, because the body needs all of these things to function smooth. It's like a car, right? If the car had gas but no oil, that wouldn't work. If the car had oil but no gas, that doesn't work, right? It needs the combination of these things working together, right? Exercise can be done seated and standing. One thing I want to remind you is that if you're seated and you can move your legs, I want you to. Okay? Demo. Time for a movement break. All right. If you can stand up, I want you to give me a nice big stand up. All right? If you're going to stay seated, you're going to come to the postured position in your chair that we just talked about before. Okay? Now, standing, I'm going to have you guys do 10 power up sit and stands. Okay? It looks like this. Sit, stand. Sit all the way, stand all the way. Be careful you don't have this bad habit. Okay, you see how I did half sit, half stand? Take more time. Use whatever you need, including your hands. Whatever you need. Okay, seated people. You guys keep going, standing. If you could do more than 10, just keep going. Keep going. Okay, now, seated, you're going to do this. Ready? You're going to take a bend. You're going to come up and you're going to straighten one leg out. You're going to take a bend and you're going to straighten. A bend and a straighten. So that we're always using the whole body. There's never a time when the legs and the arms are not active and moving together. Okay? Good. How are you guys going with your sit and stands? You should be done way more than 10 by now. Up and back. So when we work out and exercise, whether it's virtual or in person, oh, you guys can stop now. Good job, though. Grab a drink if you have a beverage nearby. Stay hydrated. The idea is to connect the feet and the arms, right? So even if we're seated, I want you to think of, oh, if everybody's squatting, well, I guess I'll just do this. I want the legs to still be activated, even if you're seated, because the more you move your legs from this chair, the better chances of you getting up out of it. Okay, so never take that opportunity to say, well, I'm sitting, I can't move my legs. We still can move our legs, right? Show me this. How about the knee lift and the ankle roll? Or holding the leg and kicking the leg, right? There's lots of stuff to do from the chair. All right. So I want you to remember that that's not an excuse to not exercise. It's even more of a reason to push yourself so we can get you back up on your feet. Exercise, aerobic specifically exercise, has been shown to have a positive effect on reducing symptoms temporarily, such as tremors and progression. The thing about that is people get intimidated because they're told to do intense exercise, intense cardio. Well, that can surely be intimidating, especially if I've never done it before, or if maybe I don't have great stamina. Your high intensity training is what feels high intensity to you. If running a mile feels way too hard for you and walking a block is difficult for you, then that's your high intensity, and that is perfect. There's never any judgment on what you can or can't do. The judgment is only on what you're not willing to try. Because you can do things, you can do lots of things probably that you never thought that you could do. And I know that for sure because people say it to me all the time. I didn't think I could do that, right? And then they leave with this feeling of feeling so proud of themselves that they actually achieved something that they really never thought that they could do. I have clients who do things that they never thought that they would do in a million years, like such as boxing, or, even walking on a treadmill can be intimidating. So check safety first, always. If it feels safe and you have somebody to coach you and be there beside you, try new things. Go slow. Take your time building up speed. Speed isn't all it's cracked up to be. Let's talk about speed. Your speed is whatever feels right for you. Speed is also about coordination. When you go too fast, you risk falling. When you go too fast, you risk losing coordination or timing, and that only will get you in trouble. So the best way to know how to stay safe is to figure out what your timing is. Figure out what your speed is. All right, so let's do another little demo. Just keep me on track on time. I'm terrible at time. I would stay with you guys all day. You could even sleep over, probably. All right,
No worries.
ready? Knees. Ready? Lift up the knees, right and left. Now, we're doing this nice and slow, okay? Now, hold on to the bottom of the chair. Let's do it again. No hands. Look, no hands, Mom. Oh, bad joke again. Okay. Some of us may be able to lift our feet up higher than others. Doesn't matter. Does not matter, right? Whatever you're doing is fine. Let's see if we can increase the speed a little bit. Oh, I know what I'll do. Yeah, here we go. Let's get the metronome. All right. Tell me if you can hear this with a thumbs up. Okay. Every beat is a lift lower. Ready? You hear it? Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. One more. All right. Let's double time it. Listen to the beats. It's going to be up, up. Now we went from slow to fast right away. 3, 2, and 1. Was the difference between the first and the second too fast for anyone? If it was, that's fine. find the speed that'll work that for you properly and safely. Stay in that place, and then slowly you'll see your speed will increase and progress. Your balance will improve. Things take a long time to develop. I think everybody here knows that. So take your time developing yourself and your skills. Don't get frustrated and think that nothing's working after a month. It could take 9 months or even longer for things to really start to become apparent, especially if we're not at a high level of training and working out hours and hours and hours a day like athletes do. Because we're not athletes, we're people. We're living our life, right? This is only a part of our life. Part of our life. All right, grab another drink. So, talked about high intensity. Don't be intimidated with high intensity. If it feels hard to you, that's high intensity, right? I'm going to ask you guys a question. Who is the boss of you? You. Who gets to say, this doesn't feel good? You do. Who gets to say, this feels good? You do. You get to dictate how this goes, how you exercise, how you find your medicine, how you find what fills your soul, what makes you smile, right? Maybe it's not exercise. Maybe it's art. Maybe it's music. Maybe you work with a physical therapist. Maybe you take walks with your dog every day, right? Finding the right cocktail for you, the right exercise for you is your own special medicine. We all know that nobody takes the same medicine, right? Even if it is carbidopa, levodopa, we're all taking different medicine. So we find the right medicine for us. All right, let's go into, I'll talk a little bit about yoga and meditation because a lot of people try to avoid yoga, dance, and meditation. And there's a lot of research and studies behind it that show that it has a profound effect on your brain. And if we really want to get down and into the crux of things, Parkinson's is a brain disorder, and the changes are happening in our brain and throughout our body. So when we change what's happening in our brain, we change what happens throughout the rest of our body. So dance, meditation, yoga can create a sense of relaxation, can reduce anxiety and stress. And I highly recommend it as a piece of your kind of ecosystem of exercise. And there's not a one size fits all, like I said. So it's not, you don't have to do rock steady only or do this. You could do a little bit of everything and find the things that really bring you joy. And if you have fun doing them and they don't hurt you, then that's where you should be. And as long as you're not declining with your efforts, then we want to look at that and say, okay, we're seeing a decline. Maybe we need to redefine what we're doing and look a little deeper, right? So having somebody along on your journey too can kind of help you navigate some of these questions and insights is also helpful at times. Sometimes you can't see yourself in the same way someone else can see you from the outside, such as your wife, your spouse, your partner, or one of your kids or friend. But they can also feel what's happening inside of you. So whatever you're feeling is very important to be heard and listened to, because only you can understand that and explain it the best that you can through words. Sometimes an experienced trainer, coach, friend, or a loved one can actually be a great help to give you a perspective from the outside, and your perspective from the inside together can really lead you to some really good help. So don't be afraid to speak up. The littlest thing can be the biggest answer. All right? Any questions? Bring them on.
I do have a question. Someone was asking, when lifting my knees in a chair, my core is not strong enough to keep my back straight. What muscles do I need to strengthen? What can I put behind me to help me lift my knees?
That's a great question. This would be something I would definitely encourage you to be working with a physical therapist. I think that physical therapy is really important. Occupational therapy, speech therapy. These are the three therapies that are not able to be substituted with fitness. Just because you go to Rocksteady Boxing does not cover the physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy piece. That's additional. Um, I would work with a physical therapist if you're having weak core and back. And I would use more of your chair. This isn't a great chair to show because it's got like a kind of an arched back, but I would want to feel my hips at the very back of the seat so that I felt that I had as much pressure towards the back of my seat so that as I lifted my knee, it was more into the core. If I'm away from my seat as I lift it, this is rounding and sinking. So it's going to go into my back. If I push back a little bit here, hold on to my chair, pull the abs in, you'll be able to engage the abdominals and the quads rather than engaging into the back. And I don't know who asked that question, but did that help?
I'll let you know when she answers me.
Okay, I really encourage you to work with a physical therapist.
And then Dawn,
Everybody on the screen. If you haven't done physical therapy or speech therapy, I strongly encourage you to do so, especially the speech therapy. Speech therapy is one of the things that you need to do on the front end before you have symptoms, before you have any swallowing or loss of voice. Because once that starts to happen, it's very hard, almost difficult, impossible to get it back. It's okay to stop the progression, but to regain the function is very difficult. So speech therapy, the idea of that is like, I've been a dental hygienist for 35 years. If you don't floss, floss. If you haven't done speech therapy, go to speech therapy.
she
Simple
did
as that.
say thank you. Yes, it helped. And then Dawn has a question. Dawn?
Yes, yes, thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. My question is way too long to type, but I'll try to be brief. I'm in the newly diagnosed category. I think this is my 1 year anniversary month. And I've done a lot of research into exercise and Parkinson's, looking at a lot of the clinical trials with the Sparks efforts that are going on in Northwestern and Bas Bloom's work over in the Netherlands. And what I seem to be reading is that to get to the point where your exercise, your cardio is disease altering, you have to maintain a heart rate maximum of around 80 to 85%. If you're at 60 to 65%, for example, it's good for you, but it's not disease altering. So I've decided to throw my chips in with the disease altering, progression halting approach. And I keep coming across a thing called VO2 max, and basically how good it is of a predictor of mortality. And also there's a connection with your heart rate. And so my question is, can you explain that? And also, how do you increase your VO2 max?
I really can't, unfortunately. Not familiar with a lot of that. I don't know how much I agree with it. Not that I would ever say that research isn't the findings of research or the findings of research. You can't dispute that. But I have been with hundreds of clients, and I have many, I would say most, that don't reach that point of cardio. And I have some clients that could never reach that point of cardio and really have not had much progression at all. They're very active in other ways. There's also I don't know, has anybody ever heard of Ikigai?
Mm-mm.
Our our book club in Mission PD just read the Ikigai. It's the Japanese secret to a long and happy life. And in Ikigai, they say to find your purpose. And if you find your purpose and live through your purpose, you can live a very happy and fulfilled life. One of the things that they never do is exercise at a high level. They're active all day, busy, engaged, but they don't overindulge in anything. So it's all about balance in life. I have heard a lot of people talk about the VO2. I think that's what it is, VO2 max. I tend not to focus on those types of things because across the board, I won't be able to work with all my clients with that philosophy. It may work for some people, but it doesn't work for everybody. I know that there are a lot of people that do the cardio and are, really push themselves at that 80%. If that works for you, I love it. I'm going to say for 80% of the people that I see, it just doesn't work. And they have a really hard time even getting up to that 60%. Unless they were active and, athletes before. So I'm sorry, I can't help you with that question. But if you reach out to me through email, I will help you with that question. And I will get the answers for you. And I will find out as much as I can.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Because I'm interested to know more too. After reading the Ikigai, I thought to myself, well, when I have people in the gym and they work out to a level that's above and beyond, and then they go home and they're exhausted all day and they can't function and they're just feel like they're whooped. Well, that's not a good quality of life. I don't want people to feel like that. I want their exercise experience to be an enhancement of their day. And I want them to feel energized and excited and go live their life, right? A lot of people tell me that when they were diagnosed with Parkinson's, they feel like their life was taken away from them. And that's not true. Parkinson's is a small part of our life, small part of your life. It's like a handbag that you have to carry with you all the time now, that you picked up on a train somewhere. Someone dropped off this bag on a train, you picked it up, and now it's yours forever. What do you do with that bag? How do you manage it? How do you keep it with you all the time? How do you get through all of these wonderful things in your life and blessings and things you love to do with this new bag that you have? Well, you got to figure it out. What's in the bag? What is it? What's in store for you? Nobody's Parkinson's is the same. So it's almost like a guessing game. And we do what we know is best, what we can do. And we keep pushing towards doing more that we can do. And don't get focused on the things that we can't do. There's always going to be things we can't do. We're all aging. But the things that we can do become greater in quantity when we focus on them. When we stay focused on the things that we can't do, or maybe used to be able to do, or want to do and can't do, they seem like the bigger piece of the puzzle. It's up to us to turn that puzzle and to really focus on the positive and focus on the blessings and choose happiness. Choose joy. It's a choice. We can choose it. Let me go back to my cheat sheet because I did get distracted. All right. I'm going back to this. Find a personal trainer, somebody to work one-on-one with you, somebody to really dig deep and looking at what's not working right and help you strengthen those specific things. And then take that back into the gym and into your programs with you. Make sure your coaches know. I'm working with a physical therapist. I have a weak hip. This is why I lean back and I drag my leg. That's not Parkinson's. I got a weak hip. And in 9 months, we can fix that weak hip, and you might still have a bad back and you may still have Parkinson's, but you're going to have a strong hip and your balance will be better because of it. Sometimes there are some underlying things that you may not know and your coaches may not be able to pick out in a setting where you're in a class. So definitely take the time to do that. I'm going to give you a couple more things and then I'm going to open up for questions. There's tons of programs. Like I said, if you don't want to do rock steady boxing, if you don't want to do cycling, don't. Find what you want to do. Swim, hike, walk, meditate. Meditation is huge. Meditation and yoga is right up there at the top of the list with helping to control the nervous system, which has been affected by Parkinson's, right? So it's a nervous system issue, and yoga and meditation directly works on the nervous system. So it's a great way to combat that. There's lots of different places also to get a coach or a mentor. Mission PD has a huge virtual platform with fitness and wellness. It actually acts like a Facebook for Parkinson's, but it's private. You can join for free. There's no cost to it. And we encourage people to make donations to help us stay afloat. It's not easy as a nonprofit. And we appreciate all of those donations. Get connected to a community, local classes, and a support group. Find a buddy or a friend. Go out to lunch. Have somebody on a call list so that you have somebody right there to call when you feel like you're about to jump off the chain, you know? The Michael J. Fox is a buddy network. That's a great buddy network. There's a Parkinson's buddy network. Also, there's lots of Facebook groups that I'm a part of that I would really encourage you to check out if you're on Facebook. Be active, stay tasked, be useful. You can. Repeat this after me. Yes, I can. You can, right? It's a matter of telling yourself that you can. Being active takes work. It can be exhausting at times. Fatigue with Parkinson's can be added to this, making it even more challenging. Mental strength can really fade, but we can help guide you to finding your strength and finding your people. You can improve your mental strength. It's a circle. Look for the lifelines. There's stuff out there to help you. There are people out there that help you. There's love out there waiting for you. You just have to reach out and grab it. So I'm open for questions. Pop up, let me know. What can I tell you? What didn't I tell you?
I know that something people you kind of touched on it a little bit, but how do you encourage people to just start?
All right.
If this is not their thing.
This is so good. Mm-hmm. You just have to do it because you know that you have to. Nobody likes to take medicine. Nobody likes to eat vegetables and fruit. Well, many people don't. Mm-hmm. And you cannot get motivated until you see results. When you don't feel well and when you are nervous and frustrated and anxious about your condition, it's very difficult to get the motivation. So my advice is to find your discipline. And I know that almost every person that I've ever met has some sort of discipline in their life to something, whether it's discipline to being committed to their family, to their job, or going to the car wash once a week, or whatever the discipline is that you have, that you follow this discipline. Create a discipline for your exercise. Stick to it. The hardest thing to do is stick to it once you commit to it. If you stick to it, after a little while, you will start to see results. The results will bring the motivation, and that will bring your drive. I just don't think that motivation and the eagerness to all of a sudden exercise, because I was diagnosed with Parkinson's, falls out of the sky and hits you like glitter. It just doesn't hit you like glitter. Sometimes it's finding somebody who's real exciting and dynamic, and they make you want to try, like me, or another person who makes you super excited about trying, or a friend that says, come with me, we'll do it together. I know we don't want to, but we'll do it together. It's, again, this very specific, personalized thing that is going to lead you to doing it. It's very easy to not do it. In my opinion, I think that in my experience, it goes discipline, results, motivation. That's the trail. I wish I could say something different. I wish I had the fairy dust.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
How are people also able to connect with you other than I put your email in the chat? Can you tell us a little bit more about that? And also,
absolutely. So I'm going to be here on Thursday also, which I'm really excited about. And we're going to be doing a little bit more working out, and I'll do a little less talking. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I won't do a little less talking. But anyway, the reason I talk so much is because I teach a lot when I teach. I want you to learn. I want you to take away from here something. I want you to leave with information, knowledge, so that you can better manage your life and your Parkinson's and your journey when I'm not around. So whatever you learned, maybe you'll take it into your Rocksteady program, or maybe you'll take it back to your gym, or maybe you'll have a question, ask your coach about it. So in that sense, I just think that really trying to continue to, stay with that discipline, stay with knowing that it's good for you. Listen, we all know that we should be exercising, with Parkinson's or not. That is, it is the number one thing that anybody tells you to do. So it's like, taking medicine or eating spinach. I really like spinach, but some of you might not. So I hope that helps a little bit too.
And is there one thing you'd like people to take away?
So Mission PD is a virtual fitness and wellness platform. It's completely free. The website has a little hyphen in it, which sometimes confuses people, but I'll give it to you easy. The most important part of our life is the dash between the year we're born and the year we leave. So there is a dash in Mission PD. It is www.mission- or dash, most important part of why we're here, pd.org. Okay, so it's www.mission-pd.org. And you can reach me there. You can email me at stacy@mission-pd.org. You could call me. You can look me up on the website. You can get me on Facebook. But most of all, just email or call me. You can look Mission PD up in the are there yellow pages anymore? Well, on the internet. You could call me on the phone too. I just showed everybody my age. Yeah. Let your fingers do the walking.
I did put it on the website, in the chat though, so if you click on it, you can save it. If people would like to save their chat, if you click on the dots next to exercises medicine, you can save your chat for any of the links that are there. Do we have any other questions? Well, this was incredible. I always love movement because I always feel better after I get done with it. As you know, we have a tradition here at PMD Alliance, our wave of gratitude. Somebody did ask if you're located in New Jersey.
We are located in southern New Jersey. We're south of Trenton, right outside of Philadelphia. Our virtual platform, though, is international, and that's why Rosa is on our screen. I see you there, Rosa. Rosa lives in Mexico. And we do have people from outside of the country as well. So if you check out our website, you can join for free right there, and it'll put you into our platform.
Wonderful. Well, as I was saying, we have a tradition here at PMD Alliance, our wave of gratitude. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. And then you're coming back on Thursday. So if you like
Power moves on Thursday. Wait, I think Becky's here. Power moves on Thursday.
Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Thanks
Bye,
for being with
everybody.
us.
Keep your smiles on.